Welcome to Cumberland Country. I'm CJ Cumberland. For the next hour, I'll be your guide to the best local and regional country and bluegrass music around. So ease back, relax, and leave the rest to Crescent Hill Radio.
All right, everybody. Welcome once again to another edition of Cumberland Country right here on WCHQ 100.9 FM. I am CJ Cumberland, your host, and we've got a great show lined up for you. You know, I was thinking about this, before I get to our guests, I was thinking about this on the way over to the studio today. This December will be my 5th year on WCHQ, so we're probably going to do something special in December, maybe all December long. So I appreciate you guys, listening still. I don't think I'd have been around for 5 years if you wouldn't listen, so I appreciate that. But tonight in the studio, and I kind of accidentally found out about this young lady, Katie Boeck, along with Joseph Coons. And Katie is a recent transplant to Louisville, Kentucky. And Katie, let's get the interview started because I want to get to some music here real soon. But where are you from originally?
I'm originally from the Central Coast of California, Pismo Beach, San Luis Obispo, kind of halfway between L.A. and San Francisco.
Gotcha.
Yep.
What brought you to Louisville?
It's sort of a funny story. I mean, I had been living in L.A. for about 9 years, and then I moved to New York and had kind of a crazy year, and I visited Louisville earlier in the summer, and we played a show at the New Vintage, and I just kind of fell in love with the city, and I was looking to kind of get out of the big city lifestyle,
right.
And something about Louisville just kind of like really called to me.
Right.
Someone had said, you should check out Waggin Wednesday, and so I went and saw that, and then I was just like, this is such a great city, and the food was so good, and so, yeah, we just decided to move here.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I've heard from several musicians who've actually been on the show who have actually moved to Louisville because it's a hub city, and it's easy to kind of base your, touring. And, I mean, we're real close to a lot of major markets.
Yeah, it's true. It's just like a couple hours from Nashville, a couple hours from Cincinnati, and get to New York.
Yeah. Chicago's real close.
Asheville, yeah.
Absolutely. How did you get started in music?
I kind of came from a musical family. My parents were both music people. We had a lot of records, and my dad is from Montana, and he was a kind of country songwriter,
right.
And so we just had guitars in the house, and we had a piano, and I just kind of started playing around with that, and it was just sort of a form of expression. And my mom and parents were really supportive and put me in voice lessons and stuff like that. So just kind of stuck.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you remember writing your first original song?
Yeah, I do. I remember I got really I was not that great at kind of reading music, and so I got really frustrated with piano, and
right.
I just picked up the guitar, and I felt a lot more freedom on the guitar. And then once I got older and started traveling, it was obviously way easier to take a guitar with me. So, yeah, I think my first song was maybe 14, 15,
right.
something like that.
I've had... over the almost 5 years that I've been doing this show, countless numbers of songwriters on here. And, the majority of them, I would have to say, were probably male, okay?
Okay.
And I always ask them, and probably 90% of those say that their first song was about, a girl. Was your first song about a boy?
It was about a boy, actually. It's funny. I have a record from I made a record when I was 16, and the record's called Average Jane, and that was the title track. And
right.
It was about a boy in high school, for sure.
I got you. Well, I won't ask you to play that one, but let's kick off the show with a live tune. What are you going to play for us first?
All right. This is a song called The Brighter Side.
All right.
1, 2, 3. I'm only seeing as far as my eyes will let me, only believing as much as my mind can take, searching for meaning. Everything and anything at all, it's like I've been dreaming, but something inside me dying to wake. Oh, sun, you always seem to shine. So could you send me down a sign? I'll come around another time, and I'll be satisfied, 'cause I'm gonna be looking on the brighter side. These days we borrow, they pass with every minute that we waste, and sure there's tomorrow, but we shouldn't rely on it's never too late. The road may be narrow, even when you feel that you need room to grow, you pull back that arrow, but you haven't the faintest idea which direction you're aiming to go. Oh, sun, you always seem to shine. So could you send me down a sign? I'll come around another time, and I'll be satisfied, 'cause I'm gonna be looking on the brighter side. Oh, sun, you always seem to shine. So could you send me down the side? I'll come around another time, and I'll be satisfied, 'cause I wanna be looking on the brighter side. Oh yes, I'm looking on the brighter side.
All right. Katie Boeck with Joseph Coons, live on Cumberland Country, WCHQ 100.9 FM. Very, very beautiful.
Thank you.
I heard a little bit of for some reason, Heart in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard that before. I don't know.
Heart, like the band?
Yeah, the band.
Oh, okay.
Or yeah, you put your heart into it too.
Oh,
but
Heart,
no,
Heart.
No, I actually meant the band.
Oh, you meant
but
the band,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's awesome. I've never heard that.
Never
I
heard
usually
that,
get,
huh?
like,
I think it's just the dual guitars. It's kind of, the
Yeah.
whole Dog and Butterfly, that
Yeah.
era there.
Well, I'll
Anyway,
take it.
there you go. All right. So, Katie, I want to ask you about your inspiration. But before I do that, what do you listen to when you just want to enjoy music?
I try to keep up with kind of what's out there at the moment, but honestly, a lot of my music collection is older, like older sort of folk stuff, James Taylor, Joni Mitchell. I listened to a lot of Alison Krauss. That was one of the first concerts I went to. She's a big inspiration for me. And yeah, I go online, I read the blogs, I sort of keep up with what's out there, like Bon Iver, that kind of stuff, some of that more alternative folk stuff I'm really into. So yeah.
Good deal. In the next part of the interview, I'm going to ask you kind of about your songwriting inspiration and stuff. But right now, I want to ask you, like, you started out playing young. Who did you, idolize? Who did you want to be when you grew up?
I remember being like 14 years old, and my mom, I was a bit of a rebellious teenager, and my mom was like, here's Blue, Joni Mitchell's Blue, and that's sort of a seminal record for, I think, for a lot of women, a lot of men too, but I think a lot of women listen to that, and it's like, she really put down kind of everything that as a woman you feel as you mature, as you get older, as you deal with love, and all those decisions that women make as they get older, if they want to, get married or have children, or all the things that I feel like you grapple with as a young woman in this kind of day and age that we're at. So I mean, I certainly drew from some of her sort of vocal stuff and her vocal stylings, and she was really one of the reasons why I explored alternate tunings in the guitar.
Right.
So she was sort of my thing. But then, as I got older, I realized that Joni was Joni, and she said a lot of things that don't necessarily need to be resaid. And so, I've really tried to just kind of stay true to me, and so yeah, that's sort of where I'm at now.
Well, we're going to play a cut now, a song called Victory. What can you tell us about Victory?
Okay, so Victory is a song that I wrote after I took, so one of the first kind of major gigs I had after graduating school was I booked a gig playing in an all-girl pop group that was touring in India.
Oh, wow.
So I got this gig from an open mic out in LA, and someone was like, hey, I'm putting together this group. It'll be 3 months in India. It pays $500 a show, which at the time was like amazing.
Sure.
I was like, I've never made that much money before. So anyway, I got the gig, and when I went there, I ended up meeting this guy from Spain, and he was working for the Spanish consulate. So it was sort of like Eat, Pray, Love, except that my visa expired, and I had to come home. And long story short, like my mother said would happen, he broke my heart, and this is my song about him, the Spanish man.
There you go. Katie Boeck with Victory on WCHQ.
You believe in feelings, he believes in the rising sun. He says he'd follow me, you wouldn't follow anyone. Each time you tell me, I just want you to be happy, I get angry, yeah. She's packing her bags already, guess I missed my opportunity. Gypsy man, I know you left me for a minute, but that dirty backpacking got nothing for me in it. So carry on your merry way, I'm so glad I didn't stay. Carry on and conquer another one. Whoa, get on board that big jet plane. Baby, we could be the king of Spain. Whoa, victory is calling out your name. You believe in traveling, he believes in knowing his own land. You speak a language that I know I'll never fully understand. Each of your lovers, they do anything to please you, just to see you again. Time and time you charm them and you harm them, 'cause you can't tell them where you've been. Gypsy man, I know you love me for a minute, but that dirty backpacking got nothing for me in it. So carry on your merry way, I'm so glad I didn't stay. Carry on and conquer another one. Whoa, get on board in that big jet plane. Baby, who could be the king of Spain? Whoa, victory is calling out your name. I didn't come back, but you came back, you came back. I didn't come back, but you came back, you came back. I didn't come back, but you came back, you came back. I didn't come back, but you came back. Whoa,
Katie Boeck. That was Victory. And Katie's live here on, whoops, going to right to the next song. She's Katie's here on Cumberland Country on WCHQ 100.9 FM. And she's accompanied by, in person and on guitar, by Joseph Coons.
Yes.
I like that. That was really well produced, too.
Thank you. Yeah, I did a Kickstarter out in LA, raised $5,000, and worked with my band out there, and learned a lot of lessons making that record.
Sure.
But I'm happy with the way it sounds.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We'll talk about your studio experience a little bit later. Let's talk about your writing. Do you have a writing process? Do you sit down and say, I'm going to write a Katie Boeck song?
Yeah, I usually start with melody and some chords, and I'll fumble through a verse or some kind of verse melody, maybe with some dummy lyrics, and then I'll usually get like a light bulb idea that'll give me the idea for the full song, and then I'll run with that. Oftentimes, I really struggle with second verses. I try not to say everything in first verse, so I can develop the story a little bit more. But yeah, lately I've been kind of, trying other things, working with beats and stuff like that, just to kind of get out of some of my patterns.
Right.
But I'm generally a guitar and a piece of paper and and a pencil.
As a songwriter, do you feel like that you can teach songwriting, and you feel like you need some sort of innate sense of it?
No, I think to be a great songwriter, you need a little bit of both for sure. You need some of that innate sort of understanding, because it's sort of one of those things it just kind of, for me, feels like the best songs just write themselves. They kind of, a lot of people say that, where it's like extracting something out of thin air. It's all there, and it does feel magical after that. I remember when I wrote the second verse of that song, I was like, wow, that all really came together so nicely. And but I've taught songwriting before. I've taken workshops from other people, and I do think that there are certain formulas that are good to know, and I like to see, I'm sort of a believer in, like, once you know the rules and you follow the rules, then you can break the rules. And I think that that's happening a lot more now. Like, for example, like with Bon Iver, I feel like he's really, like, sort of throwing structure to the wind. And and I think that's exciting, because a lot has already been said and done. And so I think it's important that we push the envelope a little bit.
You actually answered my next question within that answer, because I've had, again, tons of songwriters on this show. And for the most part, they all feel like their best work just kind of comes, like almost like they're a conduit to some greater power, Yeah.
I believe in that. I do. I do think that's sort of what's happening. I think with all artists, if you can get out of the way, let your ego kind of take a seat for a minute, and just fully, let the songs write themselves, let your artist self really speak, then that's where I think the best art is made, for sure.
Absolutely. We're talking to Katie Boeck along with Joseph Coons.
Yeah.
And play another live one for us, if you don't mind.
Alrighty. Okay, this is actually, maybe these are all new for you, but this is a fairly new one for me. Part of the reason that I did decide to move to Louisville was because I had been in New York and sort of had a rough year. I lost my dad. And so this is a song that I wrote for him. He was a Montana cowboy songwriter himself. So this is called Where the Bluebird Flies.
All right.
What's the use in keeping track? I don't care much for looking back. My memory has all gone black. It only makes me cry when my mind is seeped in doubt. Feels like time is running out. There's too much I can't think about. I breathe a heavy sigh. How can I begin still don't know which direction I should go. Anywhere the wind might blow into the atmosphere, I pause upon a long thin wire, feeling to my own desire. I'll keep climbing higher and higher. I'm gonna face my fear. By now I've learned that life's not fair. Can't see you, but I know you're there. If only I could look into your eyes. Would you tell me something real and true? Ask me who believes in you. Take me where the bluebird flies. Day turns into fading light. Broken spirits take their flight. They've grown weary from the fight and wanna be set free. I sense a flicker in my mind of all the love you left behind. How fragile are the ties that bind. You gave it all to me. Of all the troubles life can bring, I wouldn't change a single thing. I'd give all of my heart before it dies. Please tell me something real and true. Ask me who believes in you. Take me where the bluebird flies. Dance me off into the light. Teach me how to say goodbye.
All right. Katie Boeck with Joseph Coons on Cumberland Country, WCHQ 100.9 FM. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I want to talk about your aspirations. You're serious about this music stuff, I can tell.
Yeah.
Where would you like your music to take you? I mean,
know-
stick you India.
It's taken me to India. It's taken me a few cool places. I think like as a kid, I've had a timeline, in my life, and as I've gotten older and experienced more and more things. I think, I definitely get down, and there's definitely times where I'm like, oh, this is so hard, but I really feel like I can keep playing music as long as I want to keep playing music, and I keep going places where people still seem to like it, or even if just one person's like, oh, that that song really touched me. I'd like to be a touring musician. I'd like to make a great record and get out on the road and share it with people, and so I'm just gonna keep going. And
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have I call them bucket list gigs, like a place that you've always dreamed of playing but you haven't played yet?
Yeah, I think I'd like to play. I mean, Red Rocks is a beautiful place that one day would be awesome. I'd like to play the Bluebird Cafe one day.
All right. Yeah.
And maybe someplace like the El Rey in LA. I like theaters. I've played a few outdoor festivals, but I do feel like my music is best heard in a sort of intimate, kind of
Right.
low lighting, that kind of thing.
Well, now you've been on Broadway.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
That happened sort of crazy. One of those things that kind of came out of living in LA, and I had posted a video of a cover of a Joni Mitchell song, of Case of You, and a director heard the song, and he was looking at the time for singer-songwriters, musicians, and actors to be in production of Spring Awakening. It started out as a 99-seat theater production in LA, and people may know the show. It was on Broadway a few years ago, like maybe 6 years ago. Won the Tony for Best Musical, and actually the composer is Duncan Sheik. He was a 90s singer-songwriter. And anyway, they were doing a production of it out in LA with a company out there called Deaf West, and they work with deaf and hard of hearing actors. And so basically they recast some of the characters as deaf characters, and then they wanted singer-songwriter, musician, actors to play the voices of the characters.
Right.
So I played the voice of Vendla, who was the main girl, and we did it in LA. I was teaching music at the time. I think I made $20 a show. And then we did another production of it at a bigger theater, and then it transferred all the way to Broadway that following year. So we did a limited run production of it for about 6 months on Broadway, and we also were nominated for a Tony for Best Revival and got to perform on the Tonys. So yeah, it was really cool.
All right. Tell me about the newsroom.
Yeah, that was also kind of a random thing that happened through a friend. They were looking to cast a singer, an opera singer, for a special scene from the newsroom that required Ave Maria, the song. And I had never heard, I'd heard the song, obviously,
Right.
but I'd never played it. I'd never worked out an arrangement of it on my guitar or anything. And my friend Leslie Odom Jr., who just finished his run in Hamilton on Broadway, he knew the director, Anthony Hemingway, and said, hey, I'll send you one girl who, she's not an opera singer, but you should listen to her. And he was like, okay, you need to learn Ave Maria right now and send it in. So I listened to the Joan Baez version, and Joe helped me transcribe it via Skype when he was in Florida and I was in California. And anyway, I sent it in an iPhone recording, and he was like, this is awesome, I love it. Sent it to Aaron Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin approved, and then I was recording it with a guy named Jeff Beal, who put a bunch of strings and clarinets on it, and then we filmed it over a 2-day period in LA. And yeah, it was during the wedding scene where Jeff Daniels decides to get married right before he gets hauled off to prison for,
Right.
I think the episode was called Contempt.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you mentioned Joseph, your guitar player there.
Yes.
And I've been told that you can do a little Chet Atkins picking.
A little bit.
Oh yes.
Can we hear a
He's
little bit?
quite the picker.
Can we hear a little bit?
Sure.
Wow. I kind of hate you right now. I'll play guitar. That's phenomenal, man. How long you been playing guitar?
Since I'm 34, and since I was 16,
Wow.
I started playing. Yeah,
Joseph
wanted to learn that
Hughes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
job. Good job. Well, we're going to play another cut now. What did I have lined up? Two Shores. What can you tell me about Two Shores?
Two Shores is a song that I wrote based on this passage that I read in a book called The Prophet about marriage, and he sort of describes it as being like two pillars that hold up the same building, or two sort of shores with an ocean of love in between.
Right.
I don't think he uses that
I
phrase,
gotcha.
two shores, but anyway, it's about that.
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphorical song, yep.
Here's Katie Boeck with Two Shores on Cumberland Country.
How who's it gonna be? We have been waiting for so long. Now it's just you and me. A chance to do right where we've gone wrong. Well, I don't wanna let it down. Don't wanna say the wrong thing. Who am I kidding now? I am no good at pretending not to care. Don't wanna keep you from yourself. That wouldn't be fair. There's enough wind for both our sails, so let's be free. Like two shores with an ocean in between. Only say you love me if you mean it. Well, you can be a sailor and I'll be a sailor. But no man is an island now. Fear is the enemy. You got your guard up, your guns out. Well, you said you want honesty. I wanna show you what love is all about. Well, what do we have to lose? Don't wanna look back and realize that all along it was you. At least I can say that I tried. You know I tried to make you understand. Our stars are aligned. Somewhere in the distance there's dry land, so let's be free. Like two shores with an ocean in between. Only say you love me if you mean it. Well, you can be a sailor and I'll be a sailor. But no man is an island now. Let's be free, like two shores with an ocean in between. Only say you love me if you mean it. Well, you can be a sailor and I'll be a sailor. Oh, you can be a sailor and I'll be a sailor. No, 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 no. Well, you can be a sailor and I'll be a sailor. But no man is an island.
All right. I got it stopped. Okay. Katie Boeck with Two Shores. And Katie and her sideman here, Joseph Coons, are live on Cumberland Country on WCHQ 100.9 FM. I'm going to ask you a question, and you don't have to answer this because some people, get a little uncomfortable when I ask them this question. But let's say you were not you, and you were describing Katie Boeck. You'd be like, she sounds like what? How would you describe Katie Boeck?
Someone recently said, I get Jewel a lot, which people
Yeah.
are like, oh, you like Jewel. And I love Jewel. I always was a fan. I saw her when I was 14 and loved it. But someone recently was like, no, I hope this doesn't offend you, but you're kind of like Jewel mixed with Dido. And I actually thought that was kind of like a reasonable combination. So, yeah, I welcome all the comparisons. I kind of agreed with that one. I thought that's pretty cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about like your live performances. what could, if one of my listeners wants to come out and see you in the near future, you're playing somewhere, what can they expect from a Katie Boeck show?
Well, sort of right now we're doing this kind of guitar duo thing, but hoping to kind of meet some other musicians in town and get sort of more of a full band thing going on. This is kind of our sort of semi bluegrass fingerstyle folk project. But yeah, I sort of am in the process of writing and making kind of a new record and keeping the options open. But I certainly want to get more involved with some full band stuff in the future.
Well, we here at WCHQ, we play local and regional music from Kentucky, Southern Indiana. I think a lot of the local music scene. You haven't been here that long, but if you got a chance to get out and see any local music?
Yeah, actually, we played a Rock the Vote event the other day and met a couple really great artists, some sort of hip-hop artists and some other kind of folk artists. And I met Brooks Ritter at the last New Vintage show that I played. He's a great artist. And so, yeah, I hear there's amazing stuff going on. And every time I've been out to see live music, it seems really cool, really vibrant. So. Well,
I know that Joseph's a friend of Mr. Stephen Casciato. Have you been out to see Stagecoach Inferno yet?
I haven't yet, no. I look forward to it there. Everyone at work talks about it.
It's a Western-themed metal band.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
And they've just got a brand new album. Get two more live songs in if I can, so let's play another one right now. What are we going to play?
Okay, so this is one of the first tracks that Joe and I collaborated on. It's called Angel on My Right.
All right. Boeck with Joseph Coons on Cumberland Country. I forgot where I was for a second. On Cumberland Country, WCHQ 100.9 FM. Phenomenal stuff. Great stuff.
Thanks.
We've listened to a few of your cuts tonight. We're going to listen to one more here in a minute. But how do you like the studio experience?
I love it. And, the one time that I had the privilege of being in a really nice studio, I was on a budget and I was on time. And so that's sort of why we've taken this last year. Joe works at Guitar Center. And so we've been taking advantage of that employee discount. And we've been kind of building our own studio because I think a lot of the artist development happens in a studio. I think I've learned over the years that, like minimalism as a singer can really go a long way in the studio. And spending so much of my time as a kid on the stage, either in theater or just playing live with my folks and stuff, like, you sing out and you project, but that's not always the best thing in the studio. So I'm enjoying kind of learning more about who I am and how I sing when I am behind a microphone in a studio. So, yeah.
Lost my train of thought here. Let's go ahead and play that cut. Tell us about What Are We Waiting For?
What Are We Waiting For? This is a song that I did. It's the one song. So initially when I went to make the record, I wanted to do everything live, and a lot of stuff happened, and I ended up having to go back and retrack a lot of vocals. And so a lot of that live feel I didn't really get to capture, unfortunately. One of the lessons I was talking about. But this one song is a song that I was able to get on the record that I played pretty much straight through in one take. And there's someone on there playing the field harp or field organ, which is this cool thing that we had in the studio where I think they used to drop them out of airplanes to perform like like funeral ceremonies and stuff, like in war battlegrounds and stuff. So it's a cool instrument you'll hear on there. And yeah, it's just sort of a call to those who are asking themselves what they're waiting for.
All right, let's give it a listen. Here's Katie Boeck with What Are We Waiting For on Cumberland Country.
to most dangerous extremes. Oh, what are we waiting for? Oh, what are we waiting for? Oh, what are we waiting for?
All right, Katie Boeck with What Are We Waiting For? And Katie is live on Cumberland Country here on WCHQ. And it's been, we're not done yet, but it's been a pleasure. I mentioned that I kind of accidentally found out about you because I ran into to Joseph here, and we were talking, and I told him that I had the radio show, and he's like, "I got to tell you about this, Earl. Let me write it out." I mean, it was like
He's
just
like my
that,
publicist, I
right?
know.
Absolutely. and I was going to an open mic. I think it was that same night, and I got there early, so I pulled you up on my phone, and I was listening to stuff. I'm like, and I called him right away. That was the same day, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You hadn't left very long.
And I think you were in.
I was in Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we'll get it worked out. So I'm glad we did.
Thanks, honey. Thank you for having me. This has been super fun.
Absolutely. Where can my listeners find out more about Katie Boeck?
Well, you can go to my website, Katie Boeck Music. That's KATIEBOECK music.com. I'm also at facebook.com/Katie Boeck Music. And then I'm on, Twitter and Instagram at Katie Boeck, BOECK. And then I have some other videos and stuff on YouTube. You can search there. And
All right.
yeah.
Sounds good. Well, let's go ahead and play another live one.
Alrighty. This is another one that I've written here with Joseph. It's called Mine.
right.
A little love song for a change. 2, 3, 4. I don't believe in soulmates. I fall in and out of love. I think there's choices that we all make when we choose to love someone. I don't believe in mistakes. Teach me something new. If I'm a chance you're willing to take, then I'll take a chance on you. So come on and take this love and put it all on the line. 'Cause I am yours and baby you are mine. I grew up with the notion that love never fails. It's a roller coaster of emotion, and somehow it prevails in spite of Hollywood persuasion. I see the forest through the trees, oh, and I release my expectation to fulfill some fantasy. So come on and take this love and put it all on the line. 'Cause I am yours and baby
'cause I am yours, and baby you are mine. You're mine. You're mine, 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 mine. Oh, mine. La 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 la
All right, Katie Boeck with Joseph Coons live on Cumberland Country. Guys, again, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for
Certainly
having
appreciate
us.
it. And thanks for coming to Louisville. My goodness.
Heck yeah, we love it here.
Hopefully we'll be seeing you out and about here soon.
Yeah.
Tell my listeners one more time where they can find out about you, your website.
KatieBoeckMusic.com, KatieBoeck music, and also have an album, Speaking of You, some of the tracks you heard that's on iTunes
All right.
and Spotify.
Sounds good. Remember, folks, tonight is the WCHQ singer-songwriter open mic at Beer Nose Pizza, and a sign-up starting in about 3 minutes, and the music starts at 8. So we're going to close out the show with Katie Boeck. This is Till Somebody Better Comes Along. See you next week.
I know full well you're not the one, but tonight I don't feel like being alone. I know in time my fortune will turn. You'll just be one of the lessons I've learned. So I guess I'll go on letting you do me wrong till somebody better comes along. Everyone says, wake up and see you're not in it for love, you're not in it for me. I hear their words and I know what they think. They can lead me to the water, but they can't make me drink. So I guess I'll go on letting you do me wrong till somebody better comes along. Yes, I guess I'll go on letting you do me wrong till somebody better comes along. Time and again you reel me in, then you toss me in the river with your hook in my skin. If I don't know my worth, then you won't know the cost, and I'm just another gamble that you never lost. So I guess I'll go on letting you do me wrong till somebody better comes along. Yes, I guess I'll go on letting you do me wrong till somebody better comes along. Till somebody better comes along. Till somebody better comes along.
Let's take a look at the WCHQ concert view for Thursday, October 20th. All right, folks, we got plenty of shows for you on this fine Thursday. But down at the Bardstown Hardware Project Bluegrass with Mr. Brian Allen. Diamonds Pub Concert Hall will have the Wailers, Positive Mental Attitude, The Trees. Over at Diamonds Pub in St. Matthews, Mr. Bob Anonymous. Over at Gerstl's Place, you can go and see the War Panties. Down at Goodwood Brewing, Mr. Tom Boone. Over at Kaju, Boner City, The Christmas Bride and Tycoon of Teens. The Levy at the River House will be having Soul Circus. Down at Manny Merle's, Mr. Nate Thumis. 8 Up Elevated Drinkery will have Miss Carly Johnson. And if you don't feel like getting out tonight, stick around. Right here on WCHQ at 6:30, Cumberland Country will feature the music of Miss Katie Bach. And at 8 o'clock, the Hippy at Spotlight will feature the music of the Hard Times Band.
This has been your WCHQ Concert View. If you've got a show you'd like to let us know about, go to CrescentHillRadio.com and hit the icon at the top of the screen that says List Your Gig.
Now here's Leslie's Motel.